That is the fact that we don't have a bill from Labor about what a voice would look like. We don't have detail. So critics of a voice can say anything they like about it. Supporters don't have anything to defend. When will Linda Burney and Anthony Albanese actually show Australians in detail how a voice would work?
So I don't know the answer to that question, but it goes to the Senator's point about the question about whether it would be Aboriginal organisations, deciding the representation. I don't think that's at all clear. I think it's the co-design report put out a lot of detail, as you said earlier, Chris. There are options there. So in terms of how it will work is still an open question, and I would urge us all to actually input into that process to make sure that this works well.
That's a big problem, isn't it, Andrew? It's an open check.
Because what you're going to get, and you've seen it with some of the distribution of royalties, etc., and some of the land councils, right? Big man politics. If someone of one particular clan or family, they dominate, I don't want to name names, but you know probably exactly who I'm talking about, the others miss out. They don't get a fair share. And what is we going to make it perpetual that this big man politics exists in an institution under the Constitution, and this person represents Aborigines when they don't? I mean, Dean's already fallen into the thing of, Aborigines want. Well, I'm sitting next to someone who identifies as Aboriginal. They don't want what you're saying. I think this is the whole thing. We need to be very clear. Is this about democracy? We don't know. And in fact, we don't even know what powers this has. This body can have powers given to it by any future government, Greens, Labor, Liberal, whatever, in the future.
Yes, but
you don't know what powers it's going to have.
They could do that now under the existing race power.
None of us know what it could do.
So could I just make the point, though, on this big men politics? One of the excellent ideas that the co-design report put forward was the idea of gender equality. So I do think that there are some people thinking really hard about these issues and wanting to design this in a way that is different to the institutions of the past, and that really does empower grassroots communities, including women across the country.
I think the emphasis...
I'd like to speak to a woman who was already disrespected, disregarded and kicked off the voice process in the very beginning of these consultations from the very top level, which was Josephine Cashman, because of her concerns that she wanted to put on the table that the Australian Corruption Commission had investigated communities and organisations and Indigenous organisations right across the country, and it had found there to be corruption, crime and corruption was rife. And when she attempted to table this as part of not only this issue, but the issue of individuals who are falsely identifying as Indigenous, which is a huge issue that we're faced with, she was then kicked off that committee, and yes, she was kicked off by a former colleague of mine, Minister White, but also Marcia Langdon had a huge role in that. So it's not just, this is that exact politics at play, which will be embedded with the voice, and I can't support it.
We need to continue this substantial debate, and we will do throughout the rest of this program.